If you're looking for the best kid-friendly European city, Copenhagen just might be the destination for you. I had always heard good things about this city, from its super kid-friendly environment to its famous culinary scene, and its impressive collection of modern art exhibits and beautiful Nordic design. Our flight included only carry-on bags, so in my eagerness to reserve an Airbnb with a washer and dryer, I failed to look too much more into the place. While the apartment was super nice, we found breakable items at every turn. And it also ended up being right in between two strip clubs, which was maybe not the most kid-friendly atmosphere, but it made for some fun people watching in the window late at night. On a more positive note, the place was a 5-minute walk from Central Station, which made getting around the city super convenient. After much debate, I decided to go ahead and purchase 2 of the Copenhagen City Card, which included entrance into some of the biggest attractions in the area, and we more than got our money's worth. We started day 1 at Tivoli Gardens, the Hans Christian Andersen amusement park that inspired Walt Disney. And holy moly, this was the best amusement park I've ever been to. Beyond the fact that our average ride wait time was about 2 minutes, this park was truly stunning in its landscape and design. The Copenhagen Card included entrance to the park, but not a ride pass, so we opted to buy the unlimited ride pass bracelets for the family. I was surprised by how many rides Levi and even Heidi could go on at this park, and I'm pretty sure we went on every single one of those at least once. Since I couldn't find much online before we went, I wanted to include some info and videos about our top 3 favorite rides and attractions in the park that are great for families with young kids. Number 1, we all especially loved the mine ride, a water ride for all ages that takes you through a dark mine where you'll look for glowing diamonds and use your laser gun to shoot at targets that light up in the dark. Number 2 was the Rutschebanen, or simply the roller coaster, a historic wooden coaster that requires a brakeman on board to manually control the train's speed using a brake lever. This ride opened in 1914 and is one of the world's oldest operating roller coasters. I was absolutely shook that they let Heidi on because this thing is like a legit roller coaster, and I was so nervous that she was going to fly out of Ryan's arms. Number 3 is probably my personal favorite, the Flying Trunk, which is the It's a Small World or Peter Pan type ride for the famous Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales. In each trunk, you have the option to flip the switch to English so you can hear the narration throughout. It features stories like The Princess and the Pea, Thumbelina, and The Tinderbox. Tivoli Gardens features several distinct and named garden areas, such as the Hanging Garden and the Columbine Garden, that are integrated into the park's overall design and provide additional beautiful scenery. The park also has an aquarium and a very cool playground. Near the entrance is the Tivoli food court with so many delicious food options, and you don't need a pass to enter the food court. We also happened upon a fun show with this little character called Rasmus Klump. We had no idea what they were saying, but it was very entertaining. One other nice thing about Tivoli is that you can download the app, and then after many of the rides, you can scan the QR code to download your ride photo, and it's completely free. The app will also show you the height and age requirements for each of the rides, along with a map. Levi is just above 100 centimeters tall and was able to go on enough rides to make the wristbands worth it. On day 2 of our Copenhagen trip, we took the train up to the Experimentarium. The Experimentarium is a science and learning paradise for kids, with so many hands-on exhibits, including water play, construction, and best of all, bubbles. We could have spent an entire day in just one section of this place, and it was well worth a visit, especially if you find yourself in Copenhagen on a rainy day. Following the Experimentarium, we made our way down and got some lunch at the famous Gasoline Grill. I'm not a big burger person, but this was a really juicy and flavorful burger, and I certainly understand the hype. We then walked to Nyhavn in the Old Town area of Copenhagen. Copenhagen's colorful houses are historically significant, as back before the street numbers, the colors helped the returning sailors identify and distinguish houses for the delivery of goods. We booked a canal tour with our Copenhagen Card and enjoyed a 1-hour guided tour of the city from the canals. On this tour, we were able to see the famous Little Mermaid statue and learn much of the history of the city. After our canal tour, we made a quick stop at the Street Art Museum and then wandered around downtown. We finished the night with some tacos and played on the playground just near our Airbnb. The next morning, we hopped back on the train and made our way north of Copenhagen to the Maritime Museum. Before going in, we happened upon this adorable food market. It was so cool and not crowded at all when we arrived. We then split ways, and Ryan and Levi took on the museum while the girls went shopping. When we reconvened, we made a last-minute decision to take the ferry over to Sweden for dinner. It was a really quick and inexpensive ferry ride, and the boat was actually really nice. It had shops, live music, and a restaurant. We spent an hour or two exploring the harbor town of Helsingborg, and of course, playing on the playgrounds. And then we decided to eat some traditional Swedish food before making our way back to Copenhagen. On our last full day, we used up our final time left on the Copenhagen Card to see some of the other included attractions, like the Tube, which is located right in Central Station. It was goofy and probably very germy, but we had a good time. We took an overly crowded bus to the famous Ruffin Food Market, which was a really cool place, but extremely crowded when we visited. So maybe if you're going here, try to plan your visit for a less busy day of the week and time of day. We stopped in a few of the Copenhagen history museums where we learned a little bit about the history of the city. And finally, we made our way to get pizza from the famous Based Pizza, where all the ingredients are locally sourced and fresh. I have to say that Copenhagen is one of the coolest European cities I've ever been to, and it's great for parents traveling with young kids. I would love to come back here one day and explore more of the many things that this city has to offer. As always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for our next video on our week-long road trip through the Dolomites in Italy.